A few days ago, we have experienced a solar storm so strong that it produced auroras in lower latitudes as south as Florida and northern Mexico. In my city, the app Aurora Forecast even said that there was a 0.17% chance of seeing an aurora, but I didn't really see anything. The highest chance I've ever experienced was on May 10 and 11 in 2024, when a strong solar storm produced a 69% chance of seeing auroras in my city at 17 degrees north in latitude. That was actually kinda crazy. But what is actually a solar storm? Well, according to the NASA, a solar storm is a sudden explosion of particles, energy, magnetic fields, and material blasted into the solar system by the sun. When directed toward Earth, a solar storm can create a major disturbance in Earth's magnetic field, called geomagnetic storm, that can produce effects such as radio blackouts, power outages, and beautiful auroras. The sun creates a tangled mess of magnetic fields, with its equator rotating faster than its poles. Solar storms typically begin when these twisted magnetic fields on the sun get contorted and stretched so much that they snap and reconnect. This process is called magnetic reconnection, releasing large amounts of energy. But this wasn't the strongest storms ever. The strongest, at least in the past 300 years, was the Carrington Event, occurred in 1859. 1859 was a very normal year until September 1st and 2nd, when this extraordinary event occurred. In August 1859, astronomers around the world started spotting how the number of sunspots in the solar disk were growing. One of them was Richard Carrington, an amateur sky watcher who lived in a small town called Redhill, near to London. On September 1st, he was watching the sun and sketching the sunspots when he saw a massive white light flare that lasted around 5 minutes. 17 hours later, the CME, or coronal mass ejection, arrived towards Earth, generating a strong disturbance in the geomagnetic field. Carrington realized that that flare was probably the origin of that disturbance. This event was so strong that there were reports of Auroras Borealis as south as Mexico City, Oaxaca, Guatemala, and even Panama. In Colorado, it was even possible to read a newspaper under the aurora's light. A journalist from San Francisco wrote, "The whole sky appeared to undulate something like a field of grain in a high wind. The waters of the bay reflected the brilliant hues of the aurora. Nothing could exceed the grandeur and beauty of the sight. The effect was almost bewildering and was witnessed with mingled feelings of awe and delight by thousands." The official Journal of Mexico, dated to October 15, 1859, in page 4, talks about the spotting of the aurora in Querétaro the night from September 1st to 2nd. This also brought some bad news too. The world's telegraph lines went silent as their systems began to fry under the strong electric current. In Boston, it was reported that some employees were able to send messages to Portland without using the wires, and some other operators around the world suffered severe electric shocks. The auroras were visible until September 6th, but there was another event before that, which are often referred as Miyake events. One of the most famous occurred around 14,000 years ago, which was detected based on the high concentrations of beryllium in ice falls from Greenland and spikes on radiocarbon production in trees of that time. If you wanna see a full video about this topic, leave a comment. With all the information we have, we can tell for sure that these aren't isolated incidents, and we have to be prepared for the effects of a massive solar storm. In modern days, a storm of this type can be devastating due to our dependence to our technology. In 2003, we had a demo of what it could be like. Between October 29 and 31, a severe storm ranked to X45 had occurred, causing auroras in Florida and Texas. The astronauts in the ISS had to shelter from the high levels of radiation. In the US, the power grid got stressed for the second time of the year after the blackout of August, and operators had to take unknown measures to prevent another blackout. Nowadays, we have early warning systems that can help us to take measures to prevent damage to our power systems and electronics, but we have to be aware of these signals and act as fast as possible to activate those protocols. The storms by themselves do not represent any risk to us or any form of life on Earth, as our atmosphere protects us from radiation. But people in orbit, as the astronauts in space, have to be prepared for this kind of situations. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and drop a comment. See you in the next video. Bye!